Hi, I'm glad you're back. I'm actually really glad you're back, especially because at the beginning of this chapter I revealed some things about myself that you might not have been proud of. I'm certainly not at this point. It was the story about mailbox baseball and my sordid past. Now, I think it's important for us to reflect on these things, actually. And the reason I told you that story is I want you to understand that we all go through this very natural process of moving from a risk-oriented kind of youth into a position later in life where risk becomes much more difficult for us to engage in. Now, the challenge is, when we're young, we don't always engage in the best kind of risk. The risk we engage in usually is not very productive or other-focused. And when youth do end up engaging in risk that serves other people, it usually makes the news, because most of the time they're engaging in just sort of crazy risks that don't involve any forward thinking at all. But the point I want you to think about is, what was it like for you back in the day when you used to take risks on a regular basis? What kind of risks did you take? Were you more risk-oriented when you were with other people? Were you more risk-oriented alone? What kinds of things did you get into that were risk-oriented to do for yourself? When you had time on your hands, what choices did you make? And why do you think it is that you might have become a little bit less risk-oriented as you've grown older? This will be important for us to pursue, because what we're heading toward in terms of engaging in justice ministry will involve a kind of risk that may not any longer feel comfortable to us. It may not any longer feel like our normal mode of engaging in the world. We may be used to operating out of a more safe place. And that's okay, but risk is going to be required of us if we engage in justice ministry, and risk is actually required of us if we're going to deepen in our faith. So spend some time processing these. What are the stories? You can share some funny stories with your friends about dumb risks you took as a kid, but let's talk about risk a little bit and get used to the idea that engaging in a little bit more risk is actually going to be good for us as we engage further in this process.